is Athens, Georgia or Athens, Greece?
Are you going to
Athens,
Greece? I hope you're going to Georgia. Georgia's
Athens,
better.
Georgia. Really?
Yeah. I love that. I love Georgia.
Have you been to Athens, Greece?
Yeah.
I haven't. I want to go to Greece.
Guys, do you want to talk about the map or closets?
Closet.
Closets. Welcome to South
And we did not
House.
even tee that up that way. Like, it just came off like so strong.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, I've been traveling, P.S., and getting back on the plane yesterday and seeing your video about your closet was so real, guys. I reposted it if you haven't seen it. But what I love and what I want everyone to pay attention to, what you said at the very end was, did you have a script in front of you? 'Cause
No,
I was like,
did you see me? I was in a hoodie. I should not have been on camera at that hour. But I was
it
like,
was so real.
it was super duper real. You saw me processing in real time.
I mean, just you guys, that is how good this one is here with just like feeling thoughts, laying them out, and then like really circling back to conclusions. And you were talking about your closet, and I want you to talk about that in a minute. But what I loved about what you said at the end, though, was that when we came up with these classifications for the different types of clothing that we wear, whether they are without veils, in and outs, or had to haves, that pragmatically speaking, when you're in the closet, those words, they mean something.
Yeah, they
You know?
stick. It's not like I said
Yeah.
hockey puck, or I don't even know where I pulled that word from, but
Because Frank always says sales can't be like a hockey puck.
does he?
Yeah, because if they shoot up like that, then anyway,
We're aligned.
you
Yeah.
guys are aligned. But yeah,
Well, so I was looking at things from a previous life, right? I downsized my life when we moved out for
Yeah.
renovation. I opened up all these things from storage, and I was like, what the F was I thinking? Who was I? Here comes Martin. Your style really has changed. And I was like, hey, shit, you're right.
but it was like a time box.
It
for
was
you.
like a time, yeah, it was
Time
a time
capsule.
capsule in time. But some of the pieces I was like, whoa, I cannot get rid of this.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me of a time, but not just nostalgia. If I get rid of this, I'm gonna crave it. What is
Yeah.
it? This, I have a sequined t-shirt. It's green and yellow. Why do I need a green and yellow sequin t-shirt? I don't know, but it was really, really good. And so
Yeah.
I'm craving something interesting, colorful, and so that holds a place for me. And that is something that I will never, ever get rid of.
Yeah.
And so for me, that is a have to have. I had to have it then, and I still have to have it now.
So those three elements in your closet had to have. Those are, I mean, if we're talking percentages here, for me, it's like 5% of my closet now at best. And that's because I've gotten really good
Yeah.
at streamlining to the things that I'm emotionally drawn to, but that I will never wear. I love a big lace skirt. I allow myself one of them.
Yeah.
I used to buy a new one a season and then didn't wear it an entire season. Then I would like donate it.
And then buy another one.
Yeah, there is, I mean, literally, like there are people running around the city looking like Stevie Nicks. Compliments.
Compliments of Amy
Compliments of
Smalley.
law.
You're welcome.
Exactly. Who knew?
But Amy, when I first started here, most of my closet was have to haves.
Yeah.
And I realized that I was buying the vintage pieces. It's like, oh my God, I'll never find this in my size or this color or this print, and I need
Yeah.
it. And then I still have nothing to wear. And people write to us all the time and say that because you're buying things that are not functionally a part of your life.
Yeah.
And you need things that function with you, or you have to be okay with grieving the fact that you're not going to wear it,
Yeah.
and it's going to sit there, or it's going to leave for a little while.
Yeah, and that sucks, right? Like grief for our grandparents, but like the
Not your
clothing
clothes.
lists limit the number of funerals we have to go to. So what we're going to talk about today is how to construct the perfect closet, and we're going to do it through three different lenses. So we have Sloan here with us, and Sloan is, how old are you, Sloan?
I'm gonna be 24 next month.
Okay, she's going to be 24 next month, and so you are younger than Tibby
Yes.
by a lot.
3 years.
And so what we're going to talk about from Sloan's point of view is how is that closet built up when every thing is a very deep consideration in terms of cost, for sure, right? I know
Investment.
I know what you're making. And it's a very much a consideration too, and like exploration, because you're really figuring out who you are. You know, if a 24-year-old comes up to me and they're like, I know exactly who I am, I'm
You're
like,
like, wait a
a
little bit.
liar? Like,
It's coming
no,
for
it's
you.
like you just don't know, right? You're not a liar, but you think. But I promise, it all starts to make sense later on. Not too late.
Can we talk about space too? As someone
Yeah.
that moved to New York, and I don't know how. I mean, maybe you have a mega apartment, but like
I do not.
But closet wise, I think that's something we need to account for because you keep things in your closet, you have to like make use of that space.
Exactly. And I actually 2 weeks ago just did a major closet clean out. My physical space is not big at all. And this is coming from, I'm from Texas. I have all the closet space in the world, and I'm really downsizing to like maybe a fourth of my closet at home. So I really have to get choosy with what I can have. And then again, there's the conversation of what can I afford, what is going to serve me, what is getting my cost per wear, and what, like, so for my, have to have pieces, how am I integrating that into like my day-to-day life? I don't do much. I come to work, I go out with my friends. I don't have this need for these really insane pieces. Like, what I need right now are pieces that get me through work, play, errands, etc. Like every aspect of my life.
But other people your age, sorry to cut you off,
No.
they might say, okay, it's easier for me to just buy something that's very trendy, that is fast fashion. How does that apply to your life? And like, how do you make decisions right now? And I know you work here, but like realistically, what does that look like?
I went to UT Austin and I took a full course on sustainability. So sustainability is something that's really important to me. So when I'm shopping and I'm going to invest in a piece, I'm not using, I'm not shopping at COS. I'm not shopping at H&M, Zara, any of that.
COS and H&M are...
Yes, the same, and Zara and what have you. Fabric content matters to me, wearability matters to me, and is this piece going to be something that's going to withstand the test of time and last me seasons to come?
So price-wise, you're not shopping fast fashion, right?
No.
So that's where, it's really important in your fundamentals, right? Those without fails that are going to provide that foundation for your closet. I think it's really important when you're starting out that area is very tightly focused, and that it is where you have spent the bulk of your money. And it's hard to find too much in the world of fundamentals and vintage. Although now, on the real, honestly, with the way people churn things, maybe there are more opportunities than you would think.
There's denim and maybe like a blazer.
Yeah. And then I think that what is really important is that in your fundamentals, you really have honed in though on the ones that like work the most for your lifestyle. Like, I know that this balloon skirt was one of the things that you're like, that's an investment piece for me.
Right.
So if you were shopping right now, I would imagine that like right now you've got this very chic, kind of quiet, luxurious look happening, right? But I think that whether young, old, anything, you still are going to crave some good friction, right? Like it's, I don't know. I know that I would, right?
Yes.
Like it's not Carolyn Bessette 24/7. And so I think that that's where that next layer, those in and outs, are really important, and they can play a meaningful role in your closet. Because it was interesting what I was hooking onto when you were talking earlier was you're like, I don't have like a lot of events that would necessitate those bigger in and out things. But the thing about in and outs is it's not so much about event focus. They're more focused on giving you a different sensation. So, it's when you want to break out of the rut. Because this, with the right black top, could absolutely go to an event, right? That's what when you get the right fundamentals, they're going to go through the play, through the dinner, and through the work. So you want to look at your in and outs to give you like texture and interest. And Couture, I think this was on your rack here of like your in and outs. But this is a good example, like where it's not a fundamental. You're not like, I'll just throw on that basic, chunky, amazing hand knit, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. It's not a fundamental.
No.
But it makes what you're wearing, that fundamental, feel one level of oomph that you may not get out of, I love a gray sweater more than anyone, but like this is going to give you a different sensation.
Yes.
I want to talk about the emotional quality behind the words, right? Like when you hear the words have to have, I think it's like, I have to have it, that's a positive, and in and out must mean if something's out, it's bad. Changing your mind frame, or I guess, what's the word? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To think of in and outs as a good thing, as a tool, is a challenge, because you're like, oh my God, I don't want to, if I get it in, I don't want to let it go out because I paid for it, but it's not really out. It's just like, it's releasing the pressure to say I have to wear it all the time.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's in, sometimes you're out, but it's not like it's not
But when
like
it's in, right,
wear
it's not out of your
forever.
house.
Yeah, so it's
Right.
almost like it should be in, out, back in again, maybe back out, back
Yeah.
in again.
Right.
Like, it's a circular
Yeah,
thing.
not a few days in.
Exactly. And okay, 'cause it's funny, this is, you can tell how, sorry, just surprise, pull this on.
Surprise,
You can tell
surprise,
how
old
old
Timmy.
this is. I mean, like, how old is the label, right? The green Tibby label. This is one of my first skirts from
Exactly.
1999. And this is one that, like, it's a print, it's bright colored. But when I did this skirt, it's on this 4-ply silk.
Right.
It was ultimately like
I
chill
Sarah
modern-
walked in and she said, "I love it."
I literally love it.
It's chill, modern, and classic, right? So you're in and out. You don't like let go of CMC. It's just that sometimes it might lean on the more than the M more than like the C.
Yeah.
And they trigger an emotion. But this skirt to this day, like he's hanging up over here because he still means something to me. I would wear him with a giant black sweatshirt. I would wear them with this white tank top, which is how we sold it when I had created it. I would wear it with a fundamental, but what I would never wear it with is your green and yellow sequin top that you mentioned.
That's how I used to wear it. Right. I was like, I'm Solange.
And that's how you decide on whether or not in and out is right for you, because like here, if you were trying this on, if you put it on with this gray sweater, you might feel just like yourself, right? So in and out, he's been out for a while. Like I haven't been in the mood for a printed skirt, bias cut skirts haven't been as interesting to me over the last couple of seasons. But now I'm like, bias cut feels right, and I can pull something like this out and it still feels current because it hits on the CMC, even though, were you born in 99?
I was born in 2001.
There you go.
I know.
Before you were born. So Sarah, you're wearing like the ultimate combination here, right? These are the sweatpants.
Yep, these are the new, what are these called?
Well,
The R's.
I can't remember what we called them, but what I will tell you is they are not the Calder.
They're not the Calder.
They're
That's
not the
what
Calder.
It
How's
starts
that?
with an R, and I know Tracy's gonna barge in here any minute. What
Ro-
are they?
Rohan.
Rohan. See,
There you go.
we got there. Thank you, Sloan.
And Rohan is actually this pant in a version.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So this is kind of the silhouette that you'll see really throughout the collection. I was doing a PK review this morning with the
Yeah.
store, and
Product knowledge.
product knowledge, and that was really like the takeaway in
Yeah.
terms of key silhouettes was something that you'll see in multiple fabrications.
Yeah.
But I love the athletic gray
Yeah.
iteration, and I think it just adds something really interesting to an otherwise like very fundamental type piece.
Well, I think what's funny too is someone had asked me recently, they're like, oh, does this count as like athleisure? And I was like, no, that's not how, Tracy doesn't design in that way. It's not about taking athletic wear and making it more elevated. It's like taking all the gravitas of our pattern makers who know how to make a tailored pant and then making it more, bringing in the athletic, right? So
Totally.
it's a reverse treatment than
Exactly.
what you would normally have, because this is absolutely refined plain wear.
Oh yeah, for
you.
sure.
And I think too, like it's one, you know, you certainly know that it can be dressed up when, I think this might be
It's a small.
small, yeah. So you can see like it works the whole thing, and you're not totally bifurcated, right? You're not a
No.
fashion mullet. I don't
No.
see something totally different happening on the top than
Totally.
what's happening on the bottom, because all of those good details of the
Rohan, yes.
Rohan are making it work.
Yeah,
So-
for sure.
And what size are you wearing?
I'm wearing an extra small short
Okay.
Rohan. Yep.
Right, and Sarah's 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
And there
Oh,
you go.
look,
So
and
she's wearing
hers
her
wearing
typical
them
style.
her.
And then we have her twin. So I'm gonna bring out your twin.
Where have you been, twin?
Okay. She.
So I cannot get enough of a pant that has two lengths on us. I love that it's like same, we're different because
Right.
we're totally different people,
Yeah.
different heights, different but similar lifestyles.
Mhm.
So I'm wearing extra large regular, and I've been creating more from all of my clothing, but mostly
Totally.
my pants. specifically my sweats, or just like a comfortable pant. Like I feel like I want a tailored pant. I feel so pushed.
That's literally what Amy was just
Always.
saying regarding
Always.
like our pattern makers and
Like,
the
look
way
at
that they
That shape.
patterns. Yeah.
Well, if you were at like one of those D2C bro brand type things, they would start with a sweatpant and they would say, how do we elevate it?
Right.
We start with a proper tailored pattern, and then we're like, how can we give it just more
Break it
and
down.
more ease?
Right.
Which is what we talked about leisure wear. It's like the backwards leisure wear.
Exactly.
We just covered.
Leisure? Sweet. We're all in
Yeah.
sync. Oh my god.
Weezer.
No, that is not it. I
Okay,
mean, a
no
good
Weezer.
band, but no.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. All right.
So now we are seeing you in this Cavalier twill.
Yeah. So this is the Cavalier twill. So where this would go in my closet, it's not a fundamental. You're wearing a fundamental.
Yeah, I'm wearing a fundamental. I'm wearing
Right.
the Dominic pinstripe. So from a distance, you thought it was navy, but it's.
So it is navy. Right?
I mean, it's navy only. You thought it was
Yeah.
solid, but it's a.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, that would be rude. And so this is a fundamental, and so things like this, guys, this deconstructed lapel, what you want to look for in a fundamental, right, is it's chill and it's classic, but it is also modern. So when you see a detail like this, what a lot of brands do, the designers don't do it. I would say the executives are like, look, we asked you for the basic blazer. And I could see those poor designers at other companies who've got someone like saying shit like to them. They're like, no, but can we make it more and still be functional and basic? And what this does is it just makes it more. Every day is just a little bit more without ever being too much. It's perfect.
Yeah, it really is. And I love that we have this really deep facing. So if you're somebody that doesn't want to scrunch it up, you can roll this up and it'll stay and you're not losing any design details or fabric. It's the same.
And this was it was really funny because Tracy didn't really live in the Liams right away when she created them. I just rubbed you like Tracy does. But she didn't live in them immediately. And I remember when she was putting them on there, she would come to me and she's like, I think maybe we can make this just a little bit lighter weight here if we just do the lining all the way to the front. And I was like, try it. Who will notice?
Everyone.
Fucking everyone noticed. Like Paula, you know who you are.
Hi, Paula.
Like immediately, she's just written. She's like, I can't just bend back the sleeve. I can't make it shorter. If I do, you see the line. So, anyways,
it takes your eye somewhere else too.
it takes your eye somewhere else.
Yeah.
So you know what we.
Yeah.
I was like, Paula, send me your jacket. We'll give you a facing. But we ended up doing that ever more, and I get it. It really was a very important attribute that we have.
And that's
So
just
we don't-
enough.
And something like this, it is because it really is not designed to be what that is.
That's helpful.
I mean, this is very much a proper feeling suit. And what I love about this suit, so it is an in and out. This is the Jodhpur cut. I'm wearing the longer length, and I'm doing this to just be like long and slouchy. I have seen by preference because I've seen a lot of people put it on, and this.
Oh, don't.
This makes sense. Well,
Oh, I was like,
no. Well, you know what it is? The reason why you said, oh, don't, is because when I try and explain it and I lift it up, the rise hits exactly against the body, which feels really wrong. That's why we do two lengths in this, because, even though you're going with a shorter length, you still want to maintain that longer rise, because that's what's giving you all that ease. And I think what's great about this,
So you're wearing a fundamental tank top, which I live in. I have on the long sleeve version.
yes, and I think that for me, my lifestyle, if I were to put on something that was like more of an actual like top,
Can you just hand me the sweatshirt and this gray?
oh yeah, and do you mind the baby blue one for me? So I think that like here, this works. Oh my God, the static is just
I love it. You're
looks
blown
like
away.
I've yeah.
I like the texture on texture.
Yeah.
From a distance, you can't. It looks like it's white, but when you get close, you see all the details.
Yeah, and so I think that this is something where this material is right now in collection, and I think that when we realize that something has so much applicability to make the in and outs so wearable, then sometimes they do graduate to becoming a fundamental.
Right.
And so like the sheer tops, you know, the sheers tops started out just really as a trend. We're
Right,
like, oh,
right,
we're
right.
feeling for sheer. And all of a sudden we're like, damn, sheer makes so much sense so much of the time because it adds like a bit of lightness, lets you layer without ever feeling too heavy. So I just want to show you this here. This is with the belt that is coming, and this belt is so good. It's stupid good. But anyways, just want to show you here.
I want to see what this looks like with this layer underneath when I wear it right now. I'm gonna take it off just to show what it looks like without it. But I would. It's kind of flappy, but I like seeing my skin. I need more skin.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If you were wearing that,
I want
are
a
you
heel.
tempted? Yeah, or like a loafer or something
I
with like
wanted
a
her to
wood
grab me a
sole.
heel. Because I want something that's a little bit less, because I'm chill.
Yeah. Do you mind grabbing a heel, and if there's a loafer
Yeah.
around,
The nacho.
just anything, and it can just be one shoe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm tempted
Thank
to give you a little more friction.
I didn't want to run off, but that was what I wanted because
Yeah.
I feel like, so this is an in and out for me. I have sweats, and having a push more fashion sweatshirt is something that I'm craving. So when I started, I built a lot of without fails that were grounding for me, especially postpartum, living in a space that was not my own. I needed something that was reliable. I needed to be able to get dressed without cluttering my decision making, and that was really good. But now I'm craving a little bit more detail. So right now I'm wearing detail on detail. Oh, she's great. Do you like when you see yourself and you're like, wait, this is a good look. Damn, girl.
Yeah, and I think even like a necklace or something, whatever, like that's nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to ask you a question. Okay, when you get rid of stuff,
Yeah.
where do you put it? Like, people ask us, like, how are you structuring the things you let go of, the things that are like in your closet? You put them in the back. Like, what's the layout?
I definitely, it's like as I started to talk, I just keep thinking about my husband, like pulling shit out of the fridge and being like, are you gonna eat this? And I'm like, I am.
I seen them. I do
Just
this
let
too.
me, like, just let me move it out on my own time. I don't need mold on it to move it out, but just let me on my own time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for the clothing though, there's one thing, like you get your closet all set for the new season, right? And I've got
Mhm.
my had to haves, my in and outs, my
Mhm.
without fails. And it's always in the in and out area because
Mhm.
had to haves for me, I do not ever let go of.
Mm-hmm.
And without fails, those are like perfect little babies. Like they still, no need to like toss them out.
30, no, how much you think? 40? What are the percentages?
In and out, I would say is 50 for me
Okay.
and 40% for, without fails, 50%, in and out, 40%, 10% to 5%
Okay.
had to have.
I was running up on 60 to 70 without fails.
Yeah.
And now I'm craving more because I had like 30 to 20.
Yeah.
I feel like I have 5% have to haves, but they're probably because they were in storage. So now it's like 10%.
So you're without fails, and again, like guys, reminder, like
Well, I'm gonna pop
without
those on.
fails or something like, you know, the perfect,
So I was gonna
turn
say,
that around. not
yeah, I
this
was like,
way.
not that one.
It's this, you're
Yeah.
Sloan,
The Liam.
you're living in those without fails,
Right back.
right?
Yes. This is all without fails,
Yeah.
which is, I would say, for me right now, 90% of my closet.
Yeah.
And what I'm like willing to, I babysit as my side hustle, and like this is what I want to spend my babysitting money
Guys,
on.
if you need a babysitter
Yeah, if you need a babysitter
in Manhattan,
in Manhattan, but like a good blazer that this is gonna withstand the test
Yeah.
of time, and this is always going to be useful to me. Like, I don't think, no matter where I am in my life.
so for you, when you're craving like, let's say it's a lacy slip dress or
Mhm.
something to give this blazer friction,
Mm-hmm.
I would say for you at your stage in life, I would never want to try and convince you to buy like a $900 Tibby one.
No.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
but that is something like, do you go vintage shopping for that? Where do you find that kind of stuff?
That would be something that it would be vintage, it would be rummaging in my mom's closet,
Mhm.
it would be rummaging in my sister's closet, like
Yeah.
it would be something, I think, even I live with 2 other roommates, there's 3 of us, and we would all pitch
Share.
in for one, and then we would put it between our 3 closets, which we have done.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that we can each borrow it, but then I would pair it back to a
But that
Liam.
would piss you off though if your roommates took that, because
this would
there's
piss
a
me off.
likelihood that you're like, wait a minute, I was wearing that.
I wear my Liam, I would say 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah, so that would be problematic.
But like if I got a, if it was something, like I have the Artemis.
Mhm.
We have all 3 worn it now.
The Artemis is that,
From the,
the sheer
Yes,
one with
from-
the beading.
mhm.
Okay, so that was a communal,
that was a
you
communal bag.
rationalize it. She does communal shopping.
With my 2 roommates.
So like the Artemis, they
Like a
all
fun
divvied it up,
piece.
like a fun
Well,
piece.
Oh, like traveling pants?
Yes, my
Yes.
sisterhood of
Sisterhood
traveling
of the
pants.
traveling pants.
Nice.
I love that.
I love those.
Yay.
Okay, so here is another fundamental. And for you as a fundamental, like for some people who don't wear a lot of skirts,
Mm-hmm.
this might go way over their head as
Mhm.
like being a fundamental. Not like you can't understand it. I just mean like it may not be your thing.
Well,
Right?
it's a trouser skirt, right? So
Yeah.
it looks like truly like a man's trouser or a woman's trouser that is a skirt, and it's pushed further than a pencil skirt
Yeah.
and more wearable to me. It's not like a trendy tight. I feel like if this was any, I'm sure my legs are ashy,
Trendy.
but if I did this, then you know it's like sexy secretary. Don't look
So-
at my legs.
So let's talk about this for a second
Yeah.
because I think that this goes back again, just what we were saying with the deconstructed lapel blazer.
Mm-hmm.
The longer length in this
Mhm.
has more of a point of view than if it were a little bit below the knee.
Mhm.
Below the knee
Mhm.
might feel like basic, average.
Mhm.
Therefore, it goes with everything. But it doesn't
Mhm.
because for a lot of us, that below the knee,
Can you hand me the mat?
it actually becomes very not wearable.
Right.
I have to really think about the shoes. You gotta
Super.
really
Oh
think
my
about
god.
the shoes.
Which is why our tall boots work so much because you get the coverage and the comfort. But
Yeah.
the,
But it's
the
hard,
stocking.
especially in the summer. Like you think like,
Yeah.
oh, below the knee should work in the summer, but like, whoa, put a below the knee on with like a pump, and
Yep.
all of a sudden I'm like,
But
no, you're gonna annoy me. I can tell already.
But wearing something that feels more like this is a pinstripe, you think,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not a banker. I'm not craving anything like that, but I'm craving more details. If I wanted to push this a little further, I would wear a tall boot with it. But on a casual moment, I would wear this around. I don't feel overdressed.
No, you would wear the sneaker. I'm wearing the sandal here. You would wear the sandal with like a navy blue tank top on
Mhm.
vacation. Like
Totally.
something like this skirt is everything.
Yeah.
But if I did take it on vacation to wear, it would be
Ah.
like the perfect thing to wear in Milan, right?
So good.
But if I'm going out to dinner in Milan, maybe I do want some weird black tank top. Maybe I want some old Bottega straight. You know,
Mhm.
like you want that good strange, but if I've grounded it in my fundamentals, I feel exactly like myself. I haven't gone off the rails.
Yeah. I was thinking about my ex-boyfriend.
Ooh,
So,
okay. Martin, don't
no,
listen.
yeah. Aaron, if you're out there, I've been married to Aaron. I called
First
him by
name, last
names.
name. Wow.
Yeah, last name.
Damn.
Who's the love of my life. And so I thought when I left for college,
Wait, by the way, mine is Earl.
can you imagine?
I know.
Amy and
I
Earl.
did not name the pants after you though.
Yes, you did.
No, I
Don't get divorced.
I did not. I
Okay.
did not. Don't even. I did not. Did
Well, it's a
not.
beautiful pants, so it must be a beautiful person. But whatever. But
Whatever.
Aaron was beautiful.
He's a
But
doctor now, actually, but he was when he was gone.
you're a doctor too.
Let's talk about your guy.
Okay, so I thought like when I left for college, it was basically like a TV show. I looked back and I was like waving bye bye. I was like, oh, he's the love of my life. I don't want to go to college.
Yeah.
I thought when I came back after my freshman year that I'd see him and I'd be like, we'd be madly in love.
Yeah.
Did not happen. I'm really sad. And so what happens for me, I feel the same thing about some of my clothing.
You put him aside for a little while.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll go back there. I'll get back there, and then when you open it back, that closet back up, you're not the same person.
No, I'm not the same person.
Yeah.
I thought I was the same person. I'd lived a little bit. I'd seen some other guys that looked just as cute, were just
Yeah.
as nice. And I just couldn't let it go. So slowly, but I still needed to know he was around.
Yeah.
And when I saw him, I was like, hey, look at me now. Maybe I've like elevated a little bit. But I
Yeah.
feel like that applies to your clothing, your closet.
Yeah.
Earl.
No, it's really true, and like you said, you didn't do 180. You didn't completely change, but it just wasn't right for you anymore, and that's okay. And so the good thing is it could have been right for you, and then oh, poor Martin, like he wouldn't have existed, but you didn't know. And so the thing about sometimes with in and outs is in and outs are great because they come in, they go out, they come back in again, they go out, and then sometimes you're like scooch along, you can go now all the way out, but you don't know that right away. So what's good when you're trying to make sense of your closet without fails, in and outs had to have. In and outs are where I really take a hatchet to each season. Like, what is it that I'm really not feeling for as much this season?
Yes, how much did I wear this? For me,
And they're not regrets.
No.
It's
Like
not
I have a lot
regrets.
of pieces that I've worn. I'm like, okay, you wore the shit out of that. You earned it. It's like -5 or -10. I think it's okay for it to live a better life with someone else. Or I didn't wear it. And why didn't I wear it? Am I going to wear this next year? And I put it aside.
Or you did wear it a lot, but you're like, I just need to take a pause because I want to feel something a little different right now. And
Be right back.
because Tracy and I go through that all the time with the runway shows. Like this jean here, for instance, like this is definitely a without fail. Like
This is my first time trying these jeans on, and I just said to Emily, I was like, this is love at first sight. I love these jeans.
yeah, because they're giving you all the ease of what you associate with like what you imagine your favorite pair of Levi's gives you.
Right.
But they're doing it with a little more point of view, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so when Katura was saying, like, what do you do with those in and outs when you're purging your closet? Like, for me, you can imagine, I do have a lot of stuff coming in and out, right? Like, full disclosure, guys, right? I'm Tibby. But the thing is I have a little purgatory closet. It's between my room and like all the way back to Charlie's bedroom. And in that closet, it's like Charlie's hockey jerseys. And then there are all the things that I just need to put aside, that I don't need to go into them right now, but I need them out of my purview because they're causing me to lose focus in my closet, but I'm not ready to say goodbye to them. And so what happens then with those in and outs is when I walk by Charlie's, go down to Charlie's room, sometimes, some mornings, I'm like, oh, wait, did I have that top that was like kind of sequiny and interesting and would make this feel interesting? And then I open up the closet and I'm like, oh, you get to come back out. Great. Like I'm gonna pull you out from the drowning waters. But sometimes I don't even look in the closet. I don't care about anything that's in there. And I just keep walking by and it's not doing anything for me. And when that happens, a year later, I like to go back in there and it's not like, did I not wear you all year, therefore you need to go away. It really just becomes like, did I not wear you and I still just am on the fence completely about you and I don't need you in my life anymore. And then that's when I'll do a purge. And if I'm starting to find something that I've added to my in and outs, my new in and outs, that is supplanting that, like maybe it's what you had before, but just better, different. That's when you can get rid of something too,
I love that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this skirt is really good.
So as the woman that wears all the skirts, all the pull-ons that we own,
Yeah.
you would look at this and think from a distance like, well, I have a pull-on skirt in black. I don't need this. What is the value point here? And I mean, I don't have to do this for you to see that it's so different from what I have. But when I say I'm craving more, this is an in and out that I've been craving for. The ease of it, I purposely left one shoe on and one boot on because I'm going to take this to its limits. So I'm wearing two in and outs together. The same way I just had on the sweatpants and the sweatshirt. So then if I wanted to dial this down, dial this up, which we talked about before, I can totally put on a fundamental on top or a fundamental on bottom.
Yeah. Do you have this top here?
No, I don't have that top here, but I have it in everything else, guys.
Oh my God.
So the nylon
So good.
shirting, this is the one with the cocoon back. What I love, this is like the Charlie on like a little bit, Charlie's cousin.
You know what? Let me put him on
Do
with
it.
this. Okay, so before I put him on, let me just show you real quick.
Okay.
This is, okay,
So this is bonded,
Bonded viscose.
like but it's sculpted. It's like
Okay.
scuba.
so let me just say what I really normally I wouldn't have done 3 colorways in this, but I really insisted on having this color in because there's something that is like a 1950s worn basketball sweatshirt or something.
Completely.
It's like such old school sweatshirting color and I love it so much. So this is, I took the only belts.
Oh, because I wanted someone. I was like, they have to see how this looks belted, Amy. It's so like those.
That
boots-
belted?
Well, I look good belted. But
Oh.
like you.
Oh yeah,
Period.
yeah.
I know.
Let me do
Be
it.
confident. Why don't you? Because I think it's
so-
important to show what range this shirt really gives you and
That's
why
right.
this is such a special
Yeah.
top.
So I just folded him under right here. That's a good thing about when the shirts are sculpted, when they've got all that body in them to be sculpted, is it actually just
It holds,
stays.
yeah.
It holds, right?
Yep.
So just so you know, this weight on this is double faced here.
Mm-hmm.
It is quite,
All that stitching,
yeah, it's very,
it's damn near
it's
tailored.
very rich.
Yeah.
It's very rich. So if you have like a calder knit or anything, that is more of a true sweatshirting fabric. This is not a sweatshirting fabric. This is bonded and sculpted. There's a difference. So it's one that, like, you know, certainly with the belt, if I was going to a party, no one's thinks that I just like stepped right off the treadmill and got to the party, right?
But if you went to bar,
No one ever thinks I just jumped off the treadmill.
don't worry, nobody
That's
thinks that
okay.
about me either. We're in it
I
together.
hate a treadmill.
I
You
mean,
don't go anywhere. It's like,
I like it to watch TV.
yeah, I
Oh my
like it
god,
if I can, like,
severance. Oh, that's me on my elliptical.
okay, so this
Okay.
has belt loops on it so that when you want to like
This is a big deal.
cinch it in, when you want to create it as something more, actually need a little bit bigger belt to do it with this one.
Okay.
Well,
But like, wow.
yeah. So anyways, it just creates a different look, and it definitely looks all finished off. And here I'm having to blues on it because on the runway show and when I wore this out recently, I had it down all the way, but I had a longer belt on, which this is not for me.
Blazer, right there.
Okay, so I'm gonna put on the black top now with,
So speaking to this sweater, it feels like my daughter's stuffy, like her little like
I
lovey
said the
thing.
same thing.
Really?
I still have my stuffy.
So this is like a well-loved stuffy. So we have worn it for you. You didn't have to
what's
keep.
stuffy?
Like a
Did your
like
kids
a
have- it's
like
like
a lovey.
like
a
basically
stuffed
like a-
animal.
No,
Like
it's like a
ducky?
washcloth, but it's not, and it has a little thing on it. And they carry it around. It's like Linus had the blanket.
Yeah, it's like
No?
it's like a.
It's the best game ever.
I have Bucky. I sleep. He has that material. I sleep with him every night.
So Amy's kids
I
did
think
not have a
that's for my
stuffy.
boys.
So clearly they are advanced.
Well, but they're
But there's an
slow
adult in
today.
the room that has one, and it's not Amy or I. But we love Sloanbird. Okay, so anyway, feels like a stuffy. We're joking.
Wait, I think Sloan was describing her toddler years, weren't you?
Were you?
Ducky,
Were you?
Ducky does live in New York.
Mm.
He is in my bed in New York.
I'm not judging.
Good, okay.
Okay, keep Ducky. Keep Ducky until there's another
I'm not
Ducky taking his
judging.
place.
I'm wondering, but I'm not.
So yeah, this feels so good, and it's like soft. It's a little bit thicker than you would expect. Like it feels warm for this time period. I mean, warm in the best way.
Yes. The jacket.
No, I'm talking about the sweater that
I
I'm
know,
never
the
taking
sweater's
off.
okay.
Okay. All right, so
So
you
I'm
have on the
wearing
shirt
the top.
that
This
matches
is
me.
the Italian sporty nylon top. You guys know this top is like, he's so good.
We're yin yang.
He's so good. But he's not in fundamentals right now, right? He's just
He's
in
not.
collection.
He's not.
Well-
He's come in collection in like other colors, and Tracy always wears this shirt, and I always
Oh my
wanted.
gosh, she wears it all the time.
Yeah.
In brown and black. It's her like go-to for sure. And I think, to be honest, it's like you can't put everything in fundamentals, and you can't because when you were talking about sustainability earlier on. That's where, as a designer, as a company, you really just need to limit stuff as well. And I know that you guys get super pissed off when things get completely sold out, but really you should be glad. Like, we'll bring back something great the next season, but it really is confirmation that we are just not making
a lot.
too much stuff, right?
True.
This is a shorter belt. I wear things lower on the hips, so I always
You
will
got the
want the
short
longer belt for me.
I did get the shorter one.
Did you?
Yes.
Get longer. So here, I'm just mixing this up here just to show right now, like, I've had the pants on with like the t-shirt, I've had it on with the nubby shirt, I've had it on head to toe with the jacket, and I love it. It really gets very dressed up and very chill at the same time. And I always love, for me, because of what I do, I'm a suit person, and I love figuring out the new suit. And I think suits are critical too for those who, when when I see some of these women come in and they're like, oh, excuse me, I have to wear this shitty suit because I work for Goldman. And I'm like, you don't have to wear it. I can, okay, like, if I'm meeting with Jamie Dimon, he's not Goldman, he's Chase. I do know that before you start sending me notes. Actually, Jamie Dimon, maybe I would.
You wear this?
Well, he says fuck a lot. Like, when he's talking, he says fuck a lot. But I'm just saying that I think it is great when you've got that suit that an ad exec can wear, but that also does work in the halls of BlackRock or wherever, right? So that's what this suit does. And I'm just gonna say for me, when I wear a collared shirt with a collar, I feel better when the collar's buttoned up.
Me too. And I started in my hipster era when I moved to Brooklyn, but I feel like it's something about closing it up. When it's open, I feel too, for me, butterfly collary. It's like
Yeah, it's like collar on collar, I don't know
collar
where
on
to
collar
look.
on collar crime.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't really know where to look.
I'm just gonna pop this one really quick just so we can show them every single piece
That
of
is-
sporty
To
Italian.
quote Jamie Dimon, that is so fucking good.
Let me
He's
pop
such
out. Let me pop out and show you guys.
Exactly.
Can you show them that bag? So because
So-
people have asked questions, and I know you guys are still talking about this, but
Well-
sustainability, it's made like leather, but it's actually canvas.
Yes, this is a cotton canvas that was tanned in a leather factory. It is from Lamonta, if any of you are familiar with how amazing that mill is. Absolutely one of the best mills in the world. And I love it. And what I love too is, it's not fake leather. Like, it's not trying to be something
vegan,
it
right?
isn't. It's more that it's just very interesting that it's been tanned that way. And
But it feels durable. Like it feels really.
it is. Oh, you know what too I wanted to show is on the inside, there is a,
So smart.
yeah, I know, right? And it's hard to take out because it should be, right? The
Right.
snaps are strong. But you've also got this on the inside. So if you've got something wet and you don't want to get the bag wet, or you want to just like,
Or you don't want to be digging around for your ID like me downstairs.
no, exactly. So
pull
it
that
does have a side pocket, which is key, because I can have so much shit in my bag sometimes that, like, we're just wandering for days, right? And, but, so Katura,
Yeah.
can we talk about how you organize your closet?
Yes, we can. We can.
Wait, okay, I just want to show you first.
What you showing me?
Well, at Starrett Lee, when this went down the runway, oh my God, okay. If you guys were at the show, you know Starrett Lee is just, am I pronouncing that
I
right?
don't think so.
Start high.
Starrett Lee High.
I was like, who is this person? You meant the place.
Who is
I
Starrett?
just knew it wasn't right.
Starrett Lee High, thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I love?
What?
I love that that Stella's like, I'm not gonna fucking tell her.
And
you're
she
like,
stood here. And I was like, no.
No, that's not working. Starrett Lee High is where we held the show. And, you know, just, it was the perfect backdrop for what we were trying to do, because that space is so wide open. And as a designer, like for Tracy and Sarah and I, it just let us, like, you know, put our imprint on the space.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember when this look came down, like,
Sloan
she was
cried.
everything.
Oh my gosh, and everyone's
You-
seen it.
But in the best way. I
I
mean,
like-
I felt chills and Sloan cried. And I think that that's the power of it.
Yeah.
And I know that I'll feel that for myself, and others will feel what I feel when I walk in a room. Because
Yeah.
they don't have to feel it, but they can feel what I feel. Does that make sense?
100%. And that's what it's all about. Like, you cannot, the energy that someone else gives you on whether or not they like something should always just be taken as like a little data point, or like, oh, that's interesting, I didn't realize it would appeal to this type of person. Cool, thank you. But it should not fuel you. You know, it's not where you get your fuel. It's a bonus, it's extra, but it is not where you get your fuel.
You and I were talking a while ago about like being a moving target, and that's
Yeah.
about people, but I really feel that same thing for clothing, because I could walk out the house and, you know, people's husbands, right, they're like, my husband doesn't like this on me, and then somebody compliments you, and they're standing there like, I told her that was cute, you know, it's like, you said you didn't like it, you had to see it in motion, so Don't let that rock you.
Well, and also, I mean, listen,
see
assuming
this one.
positive intent with Martin, I think
Does he watch?
couples therapy,
No.
maybe you're like, I hope
No,
not.
that's why I talk so much shit.
Yeah.
Because if he was watching, I'd be like, woo!
Frank doesn't either.
Yeah.
But-
Well,
But I think what really happens naturally, regardless, is that, for instance, when we were styling for the runway show, I came in and Sarah just came up to me. She's like, I don't get these pants. She's like, I don't get them, and explain it to me. And I was like, well, first of all, that's okay, because Tracy and I have been living with this pant in our head 6 months ago. Like, it's been on our drawing boards. Like, we were seeing iterations when Punk and Jay were drafting the patterns. So, you know, all of a sudden then, when like the model came in and someone else was like, fuck, that's an amazing pant. Sarah was like, I know, thank you, welcome, I styled it great. And it's never like a, aha, I
Right.
told you. Because for her, she wasn't wrong and now she's right.
it was her personal
She wasn't
feeling.
feeling it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it really takes someone explaining something to you. I mean, how many times have you looked at a piece of art and you're like, oh, whatever, and then someone's like, oh, this was done by, you know, once you hear the story, once you get someone else's perspective, it puts a different spin on things. So I think maybe what Martin was seeing too, assuming positive intent, is that maybe he's also getting another perspective.
Fuck that intent. No, I'm just joking.
All right.
All
So
right.
listen, let's talk about how we physically arrange. How does that closet get physically arranged to be as functional as possible?
Okay, so I have gone through different cycles in my life where I style from color range to category range to, I mean, you know, some of you have the up and down container store vibes with the pants on the bottom, whatever. I start from without fails, have to haves. Actually, without fails, in and outs, and then have to haves. My
Yeah.
have to haves are in the back. I don't need to see them. I don't need them in the way. And
Yeah.
then within that range, I do categories. So it's blazers.
What is she wearing in that?
So, what is she wearing? Oh, yeah, yeah.
In that
this-
context.
Okay, so you are wearing, without fail, blazer, without fail, sweater, and you're actually wearing, this was just updated to a without fail. So before, with the rips, if you have rider, that would be an in and out jean. So if I were to do a comparison between blazers, so I'll pull out the crispy nylon. So crispy nylon and Dominic pinstripe, surprisingly, these are both without fails. Here you have the emblem, I forget what this is called, but this would be an in and out blazer, right? So I would have all my blazers together one way, or just have them separate by without fails. So these blazers would be together, right? And then my in and out.
Yeah.
So then I take shirting. So we have shirts here. So these are, the other ones. So this is the Charlie, actually this is the Gabe. So this would be without fail shirting, and then I would take another, I think the Franklin is out there. Let me grab it. So, because you were saying you were craving a shirt, if you had 5 pieces that you would buy,
Right.
so this would be an in and out shirt. So we have all of my shirting together.
Because that shirt's got that drawstring on
Right,
that.
so this has, I actually would love for you to pop this on. It has a drawstring in the back, it has the elongated collar, which is not like a, you know, butterfly, it's a very specific collar. I love it in this print. And you also get all the changes you can make with the, I think it has a little strappy here for your
Yeah.
belt. Yeah. Can you pop this on?
Yes.
All right, so next category, I usually fold my sweaters, but every once in a while, if I hang them, I think the best way, and we do it here too, just do a little crisscross applesauce. You love that, moms, don't you? I know you do.
I'm a folder for sure.
Yeah, I'm a folder too. I just like to see a good stack, and so when I do stacks, I do from darkest on the bottom to lightest on the top. And I also do thickness. If it's like my washable cashmere, I put together because it's like thinner, and then the bulkier ones I put on the bottom. So this would be an in and out knit, and this would be a without fail fundamental knit. And you can see the difference here. This is like a little bit more push. You're getting texture, and this isn't in and out because you're like, I bought it and now I'm gonna throw it away. There's a difference between fast fashion and in and out.
Ugh.
Next, somebody threw up in the corner when I said that. All right, so next up, I want to talk about denim. So we have the Moo denim, and Moo denim is new for us. This is actually in and out. No, did we introduce this in fundamentals? Oh my gosh. It's such a good piece. I'm like, did he
That's a
graduate?
No, he hasn't graduated yet because he's only been in school for like a month.
But that speaks to what's happening here. So this guy is an in and out. And here we have the new triple pleat, which would also be an in and out. I feel like it might get graduated, I don't know. So these two plus the SID would be, these are in and outs, and then the SID would be a without fail.
Yeah, exactly. And so this top would be an in and out.
Yep, that would be an in and out. And then the sweat would be an in and out in comparison to a Winslow
Mm-hmm.
sweat or a Calder sweat. So if I were to have
Yeah.
the Calder and this side by side, I think I'm gonna build this out my story.
Yeah, I mean,
Also, color wheel.
I'm gonna treat him very much like a fundamental at the end of the day because, especially since he's in this ring 3 color, like,
Mhm.
I mean, he can really dress up, but, I mean, I'm gonna treat him like a fundamental.
Are you wearing the short or the regular?
I'm wearing the short, I
Okay.
think.
Okay. Because I can see where it's hitting you. This is nice.
Yeah, I
So-
think I've gotta be wearing the short because I'm only 5'4" and a half. But, yeah, this feels really good.
Wait,
This
from the
feels really
back.
good.
Okay. I want to give you a belt too so she can pop and show.
And yes, and if I was wearing this, I would wear a sandal with it to
Yeah.
have a little skin, but my toes are not gonna be seen. Anytime soon.
No, and so on the back side, you can see here, you've got the drawstring. So it's something that you can really cinch up and make something kind of fabulous. Am I lying? Can you not?
No, you can't.
Oh, you can. It's maybe that one's just stuff.
You know what? I have very weak fingers.
That's,
Yeah, oh,
kinda
sorry,
random.
yeah. Well, I can never like open a pickle jar.
that's what men are for.
It's just like a. That's what my kids are for. Actually, Frank is good for
Yeah,
that
you're
too.
Frank.
It's just that he gets so mad when I take a pickle jar and then I slam it with like a knife on the edge of the counter. You know? So anyways, you can really like blouson that up if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Give a little good.
And we have this guy
job.
too.
Yeah, and he's really just there for like. Did you know that's what he's for?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Actually, I don't know, but I
Yeah.
like it a lot like
Yeah,
this.
he can do some really interesting things there. So you can bring him to this level, which creates like a little bra effect.
Mm-hmm.
You can just do this, which is just some little in-between action.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just let him dangle and be interesting for no reason
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever, other than to just be like another little placket.
I love it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you
That's
so
Tracy.
much.
Okay, so I'm wearing the silk top here that we showed in the show with like one of the longer skirts, which was great. This is, so Katura had on the Italian sporty nylon. This is that really heavy, rich silk. And last week, Katura was mentioning that she didn't realize that there was a nylon component in the silk, and there is, and the reason why it's there, you were talking about the importance of fabric earlier, but the reason why the nylon is there is because it takes away some of that preciousness, which is one guy's like, you know it when you know it, you see it, and it's just like, feels just a little too, I don't know.
Is really like a word?
I don't know, I smell an old cologne sometimes when, I don't know, like this, you want it to smell fresh, you want it to be fresh, and
Right.
that's what this does. So when Katura was talking about how we separate out the closet, without
Mhm.
bills, in and outs, had to haves, then you said that at the next
No.
level,
Please.
hey bitch, shoes,
Can
shoes.
you zip me up, please?
Category
Category is annoying little sister that went and got the same dread-ass jeans as you.
which I would have been so glad if my sister had, because she kept freaking stealing them from me. But I
This is
love
very
that.
like.
And you can see the different heights and everything, right?
So, and I'm wearing the short just to show the difference.
And what's different too is that, I mean, what's interesting is that when people talk to us, it seems like even old school conversation like, well, I'm not 5'4", I'm 5'9", I'm 5'10", how do I wear that? You know, I'm wearing a 12 and not a 4. This is how you do it, you just do it. And so what's at play here is texture mix. It's all the different shades of, it's the volume of coming in and out and back in again. So
Mhm.
all of those principles that we talk about in the book incessantly,
Mhm.
they come to play. That's how you do it. So to recap the closet,
Mhm.
without fail, I'm sorry,
Without fail,
yeah, without fail,
in and out, have to have. Category.
Class, yeah, category.
Yeah, shirt, pant, knit,
Whichever
Jean.
order, but category.
category. So, yeah, principal, category, color.
Principal, category, okay, yeah, without fail, the category, Jean said,
Mhm.
color,
Mhm.
and how do you do your color?
I do mine left to right. I do lightest to darkest, but I just swapped and I do them by color wheel.
Yes.
Aw.
Yeah. So color wheel makes
That's
it
the way
really.
to go.
But if you really want to know what the gaps are in your closet, you do this color wheel and you're like, oh shit, I got 50% black. You know, 50% ring 1. You know, only a little bit of ring. I need more ring 4 right now, and I only know because I put it all together.
You need more ring 4, more
It's-
brights.
I know that you're like surprise, surprise.
Yeah, because you had all those prints and everything. So you did like all the prints, but like.
I had all the prints before, and then I came
Wow.
here and I was like, because I needed it to like make sense. I needed navy, I needed black, I needed to wear it often.
Wow.
Now I need to make those things do more.
Interesting. Very
I
interesting.
stumped Amy. It's very very meta. I can't even look at you right now because I'm looking at myself.
Okay.
Guys,
so-
if you're clothing dyslexic, I want to say, for me, I put this on and I was like, wait, which one is the back, the front? I was like, this is rich because there's two
So rich.
invisible zippers.
Yes.
There's one at the front. There's one at the back. There's so much movement, so many things going on here. Like, it's good.
I wanted to put this up here for proof. When we talked about, one of the things that people ask about is, how do I know what color something is?
Mhm.
And so we talked last week about the fact that this color is a plum berry color that fits in ring 3.
Mhm.
The thing is you don't have to know that it fits in ring 3, because it's like plummy berry, and we say if you have to say ish at the end, it's definitely a ring 3.
Mhm.
But the other thing is what is it doing when you mix it with another ring, color ring?
Mhm.
So Substack, we did a really good article on it. So when you put ring 3 with a ring 2, a classic, it should be giving it more chill. It's
Mhm.
not gonna be super sharp, and it's not gonna like double down on the classic moment of it.
Mhm.
So you can see actually when I'm up close how much navy, how much blue is in this burgundy,
Mhm.
because it's looking very rich and berryish, and I
Mhm.
definitely don't look like an old school Burberry ad or
Mm-mm.
anything like that. So Matt is coming slinking in here. Did you see this detail, like creating the little bust?
It makes like a bra.
Yes. I love
Or-
it. It's
Or it plays sister like nuts.
yeah. Oh my god, popcorn, like the thing.
That was a good one.
A little junior mint.
Oh my goodness.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so, yeah,
More to come.
more to come.
We're gonna
I
have a
would-
cheat sheet. I'm gonna talk about it some more in my stories, and I'm sure you will talk about it your way.
Yeah, and any questions, let us know, because I really am committed to finding a way to help people with building out the closet. And, you know, you got a newbie here, and you've got someone not as newbie, and then
Oldie but goodie. I'm just joking. A great
it's all relative.
medium
people.
goodies.
It's all relative. I get it.
Yeah, like 10 out of 100.
I get it.
Yeah.
And Skatura's last day with Timmy, and she was great.
Yeah. I was joking. You love comedians, I
I
thought.
do. I do. I do. How good was that old SNL stuff?
I cried.
Oh my
I love
God,
it.
The
I love-
Coneheads. Oh my God, it was so good. Anyways,
Yeah.
all right, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.